We wanted to create a space where we could have meaningful conversation, provide insight, and connect with listeners on a deeper level. So we brainstormed ideas and the podcast was born, Let's Sip and Chat. Welcome, friends. You are listening to Let's Sip and Chat, where we talk and laugh about relatable and often unexpected real life.
And this is your host, Jacky.
And your host, Anay.
And I'm Leala, and together we're your trio of hosts on this podcasting adventure.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about stop the scroll.
Yes.
Okay, because I know I'm not the only one that gets caught up on
all of
scrolling and scrolling, and when you least expect it, it's been an hour and you've been on TikTok just scrolling.
Scrolling, scrolling, and scrolling.
No, seriously. So I think on this episode is more about, do you guys catch yourself doing that often?
I do, at night. And then it's like 2 a.m.
Holy cow.
And I'm like, I'm only getting like 6 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep. So I'm super tired the next day because I keep scrolling.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it too. Like, I also sometimes use it as like a distraction because I'm procrastinating. So I will need to be like working and doing my job, and I will scroll, and I am like justifying it as, oh, I need to take a 10-minute break. You don't need to take 20 10-minute breaks. Like, you just maybe do 2 10-minute breaks. But yeah, I'm guilty of using that as a procrastination thing as well.
We're all
Social
guilty.
media.
Yeah.
It's our biggest tool, greatest tool, but then like it's like also
Question.
bad.
How many times have you stopped scrolling one social media platform and then gone into the
That part, because this one's not like giving me what I want it to
One
give.
gets boring, go on to the next one.
And I think Pinterest is included because then I'll get into like scrolling like home decor stuff on Pinterest and getting ideas. And
Or
then
not just that, going on Amazon, looking up stuff you don't
filling
even
your
need,
cart.
filling up your cart.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, Amazon is now a social media platform? I did not know that.
It is now.
Yeah. On that Amazon thing, I deleted, I took off all my cards because
Oh,
I
really?
know I will be too lazy to go get up and input my card information. So I don't have it linked, so I don't buy anything.
There you go.
I have
That's
everything
smart.
saved on my Amazon, and then when I go, I still end up searching the same thing, and then I ended up, I don't go back to my Amazon cart, but I have over 500 stuff in there.
That makes sense, yeah. It doesn't make
She's
sense,
all-
but it makes sense. Why our brains
And when I'm like, wait, I had it in my Amazon cart, but then I still go back and search more stuff.
because that's too much work to go and
to
like
go back
scroll
in
to
my
look for
cart.
it.
She's like, my wish list is in my Amazon shopping cart.
Right?
I have random stuff. But yeah, when do you know you need a break from just being on social media and
I recently took a break from social media. So I started in May, where I deleted everything. I even deleted Facebook because I wasn't even on Facebook. And I still had it there. But when I would get bored of every other platform, I would end up at Facebook. So I deleted Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I felt like TikTok for me was the hardest because you just lose yourself in it, you know? And then I even got rid of YouTube, the app. I got rid of it because I don't want to replace anything with something else.
Yeah.
You know, you'll delete this and then you're like,
oh, I still have this.
there's shorts on YouTube, you know, so then you replace
Yeah,
them.
you're still scrolling in a sense.
And I deleted everything just because I think everybody's gonna be different when it's when you know you need a break. And for me, it was
What helped you?
mental fatigue. I would get on social media and scroll, and 3-4 hours would pass by, and then I would be drained for the rest of the day. And I'm like, you didn't even accomplish anything today.
Yeah.
How are you tired?
Yeah.
You know, so just months of doing that, I finally was like, I gotta give it up. I need to get off of this because I wasn't even I wasn't even living life. I was just doing life through other lenses.
Yeah.
And I feel like that becomes very toxic because it's constant comparison and it turns into jealousy, and social media is literally, it's just lies. People don't look as good as their picture. Or you know how you've seen
Catfish.
you know how you've seen people saying oh, I'm on this trip, and they're just messing around, like it makes it look like they are somewhere else, but they're
Right.
not, you know?
It's like an illusion.
Yeah, and like I was like, you know, whether it's real or not, it feels real to me. I need to get off.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired of this.
That is true. Yeah. Now that when you say that, when we went to Disneyland this year, it was so my pictures look like, oh, we had fun. The girls had fun. They did have fun, but it was the hardest vacation ever. People don't see like behind the scenes
Yeah.
or what's really going on when you're on
Yeah.
vacation with toddlers.
So you barely got your kids to pose for that picture, and they looked
How many
great.
times it took? Like,
Yeah,
how many
how many
takes?
times.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So.
can also ask ourselves is what do you do when you do take a break? Because I did a social media fast this last month for an entire month, and it felt great, but it's easy to fill it with other things. So replacing a habit with a habit, and so what I found I needed to do or wanted to do, because I'm like, okay, I'm fasting from social media, that means I should be filling myself up with like the Word of God, or more prayer time, or listening to more sermons. So like, what do you do when you do take a social media break?
So when
I don't think I've ever taken a break from social media. I mean, I should. Those are great ideas.
Yeah.
But
So this whole time I've been off social media. Like I've been off social media for a couple months now. And I feel like you have all this time. Like there's so much time. You're like, where was all this time before?
Yeah.
And it was on the couch. And so I just started doing like, I did start focusing more on how I'm eating, because when I was on social media, I just wanted to eat something. I was just watching social media, whatever it was, I was just playing it while I was eating, and I wasn't really focusing on what am I eating, or like, are you even like taking care of your health? Like, are you making the time to go on a walk or whatever, you know? So I started replacing the social media time with focusing on cooking, because now you got to get creative on cooking, because now you don't have your social media platforms to go, you know?
And
'cause I
go
was,
like scroll and look for a recipe.
yeah.
see, that's what I do. I go on TikTok and look for recipes.
But then you get lost. There's so many
I'm stuck
options, you know.
And then you're not starting dinner until 2 hours later.
Because there's so
I'm
much
looking for a
options.
recipe.
Yeah, and then you go buy dinner because you've already exhausted yourself from everything you scrolled through. Guilty.
Yeah.
But honestly, what I did once I got off social media, because I discovered I had all this time, was just, I don't know, I just started reading more. And when I started reading more, that's when I started being more, like, who is God? Who is Jesus? Like, I've been hearing about him for so long now. Like, who is he? And it gave me the time to put aside to be like, let me focus on him now.
Yeah.
And that's when I started reading more books. I didn't even know I had all these Christian books in the closet. In my closet, I had like 15 books. And I was like, well, let me start reading this. And then I started watching sermons. You know, it was on YouTube on my TV. I wasn't scrolling because I'm too lazy to type with the little remote, you know. So I watched watching more sermons and things like that, and it gave me more time to spend with him.
Yeah, that's good.
So I feel like right now I get nervous to download social media again, because I associate social media, even though I know I'm gonna need it eventually. Because look, we started a podcast, which is kind of hard.
And
It's
we
like,
have platforms.
it's
So
hard.
go make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram, Let's Sip and Chat, and on YouTube.
Yeah, see, we have platforms,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to see like how our platforms are doing, you
Yeah.
know? But it's almost like I associate getting back on social media with who I used to be, and I'm like, how do I not go back to that? Like, I don't want to be scrolling
Yeah.
and falling into that, and then not giving no time to my father.
Yeah, and like working that muscle or understanding that maybe I'm not who I was, and I can ask the Lord to help me in this area, because he knows that I need to be here because of, you know, the platform is used for our podcast.
Yeah.
So also, like, social media can be such a distraction.
Mhm.
So when I took this social media break for the month, I didn't realize how it was such a distraction and taking away from the work that I needed to do. And like being more aggressive about my work instead of scrolling and then, oh, let me do some work and then scroll and then let me do some work. but it also helped me free up my mind to think. Like, when you're just scrolling, you're mindlessly scrolling, and you're filling your mind with all these things that you don't even give yourself a chance to just, let me just sit here and think. Like, then you have a chance to, like, be okay with yourself, or plan your dinner, or your meal plans, or a trip, or problem solve. Like, it literally frees up your mind to just think. Because our brains were created to think, and we don't even give ourselves enough space to just think. Like, without a radio, or without the social media, or without the phone, or the TV. Like, just think.
Yeah.
Our brain and our imagination and all those things can come to life again.
I don't know if you guys ever found yourself doing this, but if you found yourself doing this and you enjoy it, chances are you need a break from social media.
Yeah.
You know, if you've ever gotten in your car and it's dead silent in there, and you don't realize that that everything's off, and you have enjoyed that peace and quiet, you need a social media break.
Yeah.
You need whatever is taking up so much time in your mind, like it's so loud. You need a break, because if you enjoy that peace and quiet, you're like, oh man, this feels good. You need a detox from social media.
Not just that, the videos you watch, I feel like those get to you too. Like, I remember scrolling through my TikTok, and there was some videos like about kidnapping, and then you know how it goes off like based off what you watch and then what you like. And my whole TikTok For You page was dark. Like, it was all like kidnapping, kids like get like being abused, or like just like stuff like that. And I was like,
It's also like provoking fear and
so
instilling
it makes,
fear.
yeah. And then I was like, okay, well now I don't want to even go to Walmart, to the store with my kids, because it makes me scared. You know, and like I'm always like watching after, which you should, but you shouldn't be that scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's what TikTok was doing to me.
Yeah.
You know what's funny that you said that? When I first downloaded TikTok, I didn't know that. I didn't know that what was gonna pop up on my For You page was based on like what was, or like I'm focusing on, and it was like world disasters.
Yes.
And I was like, holy cow, the world's gonna end, earthquakes, this and that. And I remember like crying to Dad, like, oh my god, like this, that. And he's like, what are you watching? I'm like, you don't understand this devastation. And he's like, stop watching that. Don't hit like on anything, because that's all that's gonna pop up. And it was all that fear.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember crying too, like seeing some sad videos of like little kids, and like it's sad. And then it reminds me of my kids, and I'm like, why am I like paying attention to all of this stuff? You know what I mean? I mean, there is good information, but like don't let it consume you, or get to you, because then it's just too much.
Do you know that here? I'm pretty sure you guys seen that, but in the United States, our TikTok just plays things like that. Like dark stuff and just things that are not uplifting. But like China, for example, their TikTok is like things that teach their children. Yeah, educational. And they don't let the stuff that gets played on our TikTok play.
Yeah.
It's different.
I saw a video about that.
And I'm like, you see how different it is? And then think about it. Everybody's on social media. Think of everybody, what they're watching. And then they're out in the world and you're interacting with people. And then you're wondering why people don't have patience, why people are always enraged, like, and it's like, what you consume is what you're gonna pour out.
Right.
You know?
Not just that, like even people, like let's say something's happening, the first thing they do is take out their phones to record.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, it's hard to
any
enjoy
little
the
thing,
moment,
anybody
live
can
in
be
the
in
moment.
social media or could be in TikTok right now. Like anybody could be recording you.
Yeah.
You know, or making fun of you or doing stuff like that. Like
I feel like the compassion goes out the window because you want to instantly record, and then like when you were saying, you don't even give yourself a moment to think. You just go straight to the phone. Even that common sense goes out the window, right? Yeah.
And like there's like this uncomfortableness, like when there isn't social media, or like say you at the doctor's office and you have to wait, you automatically want to like pick up your phone and just start scrolling. Like, what if we didn't and we were observant, and like maybe you can think of the questions you might want to ask the doctor, you know, or looking around at who's around you. Maybe there's someone that you can minister to, or someone who's hurting, or have a conversation, because you know, a lot of times we're sitting next to someone and we don't even know them, and like we won't even take the time of day to say hello and acknowledge that person's even exists, because we're so like so far up our phone, you know, with it shoved in our face, and like we're so uncomfortable with the silence. Like, so we need to start getting comfortable again without social media in our hands 24/7.
I don't know if you guys ever done this, but I've done it where I'm uncomfortable in a situation, and then I'm like, let me just look at my phone.
Yep.
That way I don't have to deal with this.
I've been in plenty.
Right? Yeah, and or have you ever you check your pockets like a bunch of times because you're like looking for your phone?
Or you think it's ringing, it's like a phantom like buzz or whatever.
Or if you don't have your phone with you, you're freaking out.
Yeah, you're like,
where's my phone? No, what? The other day, Papa had my phone, and I kept looking for it and wondering where it was at. And I'm like, dude, you're like visually seeing that he has your phone, but you've already checked your pockets twice.
I do that all the time when the girls have my phone.
Yeah.
They're on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know you need a break.
Right.
Right? I feel like technology is a good thing, but then it's also bad because
Can we
of
just
the
go back to the
overload.
90s?
You want to get a beeper?
A beeper.
Or a pager?
Or
whatever.
they can't call you until you're like, you're at home.
Buy
or
a
something,
phone.
you know?
Yeah.
Like a home phone.
Oh, then
That'd
fear was definitely setting on me like, oh my god, what if this happens and I can't get a hold of you?
I know.
No,
I feel
gotta,
like back then people weren't even
they didn't care.
thinking
Just
about
made it
stuff
happen,
like that, you
yeah.
know? Just like, oh, they'll be back. You know?
What's the worst that can happen if we go back to the old times? You have to memorize people's numbers?
Ooh.
I'll be in trouble.
A phone book, actual phone book, and not like, you know, the numbers saved into your phone.
I literally only know one number, and it's Daniel's. That's it.
I know a few. I know Rudy's number, my mom's number,
Yeah, I know my mom's.
dad's work number, which is interesting. And that's it.
Yeah.
I know my old home phone.
Yeah, I know my old home phone too.
Because we had it. My dad still has it, I think.
I love that.
Nostalgia.
Right?
A house phone.
My house phone. I kind of want one. I was just telling Rudy not that long ago, like, when I have kids, like, I don't want to give them a phone.
No.
Like, I know it's, like, popular, but, like, if my kid is here with, like, a babysitter or whatever, or, like, the power goes out, like, I want them to have a phone here, a landline,
Yeah.
to be able to, like,
So when you guys go to bed, are you guys taking your phone with you? Are you putting it on a nightstand? Have you ever left it out where you physically go plug it outside?
I've never done
I
that.
haven't done that either.
No.
So I do take my phone with me every night. No, there was 1 week I did try it because Leala brought it up to me. She's like, why don't you just put your phone away from your bed before you go to sleep, and then you'll go to sleep early. Because I was trying to go to sleep early so I can wake up early to work out. But I did do it for that 1 week. But I haven't done it lately.
Did you feel lost?
Okay. I do.
Did you
So,
feel lost without the
Well,
phone?
I take my phone. So this is after the girls fall asleep. Then I'm like, okay, I have a little bit of time for myself.
Personal time.
So then I'll just start scrolling, and then by the time I look at the clock, it's already like 1 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I wake up tired, and then I don't work out. So then my whole schedule's like,
It doesn't work
it
out.
just doesn't work out, and I'm not thinking clear.
Yeah. No, yeah, because you're like
Yeah.
tired. I never like left my phone outside of like the room. I leave it on the nightstand, and I think it's because that's my alarm clock. And like I have like different alarm clocks set for different things. But yeah, I try really hard to like put the phone down, you know, on the nightstand at least.
I started leaving my phone in the kitchen.
Oh wow.
And the reason I
That's
did the
good
kitchen
stuff.
is because if my alarm goes off and it's in the kitchen, I have to rush to shut it off because it's so loud, you know. And by the time I get to the kitchen, it's like, okay, well, you're already here. Just get a glass of water. Wake yourself up. You don't need to go back to bed.
That's a good
And
idea.
the reason I started doing that is because, I mean, you know what time you gotta wake up and you set those alarms, so you're not gonna sleep through it
Yeah.
because it's so
Yeah.
loud and annoying. It doesn't shut off, you know. But I started doing that because I felt like I wake up to go to the restroom like multiple times, and then it's habit. I want to hit my phone like to see.
Yeah.
Almost like I'm missing either the snooze if the alarm goes off, but I want to hit the button like my phone.
If you're gonna miss anything
Because I don't
from the
want to
last
miss
few hours.
Yeah, like almost like somebody's hitting me up during the night hours. You know, like what
Right.
happened?
Popular.
You know, and when I do that, the light it feels like it wakes me up, and then when I'm gonna go lay down, I'm struggling to go to sleep because the light from the phone just awakened me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you guys
So
ever feel
that brings me to our next point about like how to incorporate a good nighttime routine, and a part of that is not bringing your phone or getting on your phone before bed. So there's the blue light within the phone that mimics what happens with the sun. So you get blue lights going through your eye, the blue rays going through your eyes, like in the morning, and it signals your body to wake up. And so when we are like, you know,
On our phones.
got our phone, there's a blue light, so it automatically is telling your body wake up. So you're actually supposed to be going to bed, instead your body's saying wake up. And so when we put our phone down, I would say like maybe an hour before we go to bed, put the phone down, not get on it, and your body is now getting into a bedtime routine. It's telling it, well, it's time to go to bed. We've got to put ourselves to bed. And then another thing that I think is helpful for putting your phone like down or aside will help like in your partnership, in your marriage. Like if he's on his phone and I'm on my phone, we're not even doing a nighttime connect. Like we're not even able to talk about like how our day went, or even just like give yourselves a kiss, give each other a kiss, or you know, everything else that takes place. But like you're not being able to be intimate on a deeper level with your partner because he's over there on the phone and I'm over here on the phone, and then we're just scrolling. We could get to bed earlier or have more time together.
Instead of being like, well, now the kids are down, let's
Spend
have my
time
break.
together.
Yeah.
The break should be like the bedtime together.
Yeah. That's definitely something that I've tried to incorporate, like getting my rhythm back in place as far as like nighttime. Like I try so hard not to get on the phone before I go to bed, at least 1 hour before I know I'm going to go to sleep. And so it's like being super like intentional. Don't get on that phone. Like I'm going to go to bed and at this time, okay, it's time to get off social media and shut the phone down. Because that again, that light makes you wake up and we're trying to go to bed.
I need to do that. I need to continue doing it because I noticed a big change of the way like I was thinking clear and I had more energy. And when I don't do it, I'm just
It's almost
No
like you become
energy.
like a zombie.
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of like going
And
through
you're
life
like, wow,
and
like,
you're
you don't really, you know,
you have no energy. You're not
to do
aware.
anything.
You're tired. It's almost like, and social media is like a tool. Like what it was created for, I'm sure it's great, and like we're using this as a tool. But like if we keep in mind, yes, it's a tool, and like keep it in its place in a sense, and not letting it in a sense become a god, because we are spending so much time on it, it can become a place like God, instead of actually like getting off
Be
and
idolizing
spending,
it.
idolizing it.
I feel like as humans, we all fall into, we like to overconsume everything. It feels good, let me consume more of it, you know? So I think like ideas, and if you guys have any ideas, like leave it in the chat, like in the comments on YouTube, of like what do you guys do when you guys need a social media break, or what do you guys do for your like nighttime routine, you know, or have you guys ever even thought of doing any of it, right?
Or even if this like helps you realize that you may need a break, and like hopefully some of these ideas will help you implement them as you're realizing it as well.
So that's it. My new one is leaving my phone in the kitchen. It might sound drastic,
I
right?
like, no, I kind of like that. Like even if
then you're gonna be too lazy to get out of bed and go get your phone.
like
That's
even
good.
if I go put it like on the dresser, like not on my nightstand, like go across the room.
You physically
and
gotta
then I
get
have
up
to
to get
physically
it.
have to get up, and like I'm gonna try not to get back in bed because it's easy to just like hit snooze or turn off the alarm, and then you're like, oh, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. Like you can just get up, go make your coffee, and then like go start your prayer time or a load of laundry
Are you
or
guys,
whatever.
quick question, are you guys the type of person who have like a billion alarms set?
Yes.
Or just one?
One.
I don't get up on the first one. I get up on like the second.
I have like
sometimes
30.
third.
I feel
Snooze.
Daniel has like 3 or 4, and I'm always turn it off, like screaming at him because
He
in
lets
my
it
mind,
just go off.
and then he'll turn the first one off, and then goes back to sleep. The second one, the third one, and I'm like, dude, you're disturbing my sleep. Be kind. Like I want to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
But I got that from my mom. My mom was always like, I'm only going to call you once and you're going to get up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to come back in this room and tell you to get up again. So it was just instilled in me. Like, you get up on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So I only put one, and then that's it. That's all you got. You wake up.
Yeah, I have at least one or two.
Yeah. The only reason I put my phone in the kitchen is because I'm trying to stop myself from wanting to find something so that I can go to sleep. I'm like, you're not a baby. You should be able to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need your phone to help you.
Yeah.
Because then if you leave your phone running, like it's playing whatever you fell asleep to, that's playing for your subconscious mind. Then what are you feeding yourself?
Instead of like ending your day with maybe reading your Bible or praying, and like the last thing you did was fill yourself with the Word or prayed to God and invited Him into that atmosphere, into your sleep time.
Yeah, because either than that, your subconscious is just eating whatever you left off on it. You don't want that. You know, because your subconscious mind picks up everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything.
Not just that, like your kids are watching you be on your phone, you know?
Yeah.
Like especially if you're stuck on your phone and they're like, you know, wanting your attention.
And then maybe they want to be on their phone or their tablet.
So, like, at night I don't allow my kids to take their iPads at all.
I love that.
So the iPads are not allowed upstairs in the bed. And, I mean, I don't go on my phone until they're asleep, but I feel like I should. Maybe if I stop using my phone in bed, they'll be able to see, like, okay, well, mommy's not on a phone. Like, that's why we're not allowed to have the iPads, you know?
Yeah. Like an answer to why.
Yeah.
And you know, you focusing on like the scrolling on social media, the bedtime routine and everything, it will help your children, because since I stopped being on social media, I tend to spend more time with him, and we tend to, okay, we're going to go in your room and we're going to read books, you know? And if he does want to watch TV, because he's like, no, my TV, my bed, talking about my bedroom. And I say, okay, you want to watch something? Okay. And I go on Tubi, and they have the Jesus stories. And it's like little kids being taught the Word of God, but cartoons. And we put that on.
Nice.
That's what I do.
So he's still ending his night with God.
So in my head, I'm like, yeah, you're watching TV, but you're ending your night with the Word of God.
Yeah.
And even though he's like, okay, this is boring, like this ain't Spider-Man, this ain't Batman, and then he'll just tell me, okay, me go bed. You know, because it's not giving him what he wants, but I'm like, no, we're going to end this on a good night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it'll help your children too.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap. Stay tuned for next episode. We will be chatting about reading the Bible. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review if you've liked what you heard. Your feedback keeps us going.
And make sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms to stay updated on all things Let's Sip and Chat.